Hey loves, welcome to Clean With Me Sundays. We are going to clean my kitchen. So you know how we come across a busy week and we're just in and out of our place, and then one day when we can actually finally live in our own home, we realize that our life is kind of all over the place and a huge mess. If you have a week where you're feeling overwhelmed because of all the clutter in your place, welcome to this journey with me. I am going to help you sort things out while I also help myself sort things out. So let's get started together. Number one, we have to start somewhere. So just feeling overwhelmed and doing nothing about it is really going to not get you anywhere. So let's do something about it and just start with the dishes. So if you have the luxury of a dishwasher, put all your dishes in there after scraping off all the gunk and then put it through the cycle. While you're putting it through the cycle, you want to start clearing the countertops. So any clutter, find a home for it, or just consolidate them into groups. After that, you can find homes for these items. After you clear off the majority of the mess, you want to degrease your stovetop. The reason why we want to start now with the stovetop is that the gunk and all the grease that are stuck on the stovetop can be tricky to remove. So you want to spray it down with a special degreaser spray. I like to use this one by Method, or if my stovetop is messier, then I would DIY my own with some vinegar and baking soda. The next thing we want to do is organize the cabinets. Now this doesn't have to be done on the same day. If you have the time to, go for it, get it done over with. But if you don't have that time, you can just split this up into different days and just take your time with one cabinet per day. So remember earlier when we were cleaning up our countertops? Well, some of the items we may clean up don't have a home. So this is a great time to take everything out of your cabinets. Anything that didn't have a home, you want to place them all on the countertop so that way you can see. So while you're clearing out the cabinets, you want to think about where you want to start categorizing the items you have. So for instance, this cabinet is going to be dedicated to my spices, soy sauce, cooking oils, etc. And then I'm going to set another shelf aside for my baking goods, or the other cabinet is going to be filled with my tea items. After everything is clear, it's now a good time to incorporate in Lazy Susans or other containers that may help you with organizing. So for this Lazy Susan, I am going to put my oils, salt, and things that I usually use for cooking on here. I wasn't sure if I was going to like having a Lazy Susan, as I felt like it took up a lot of space in my cabinet, but it did make life easier when it comes to finding and sorting out all my items when I'm cooking. One of the many things that kind of get out of control in the kitchen are the little things like the spices. They tend to hide behind bigger bottles and containers. And so to take the time and create one cohesive place for them to stay in your cabinet will make your life so much easier. So I finally did that. I finally bought a spice rack, which was life-changing. So after I sterilize all the bottles in some hot boiling water, I am transferring all the spices into these containers, and then I just close off all the bottles with the lid and label attached. This was, of course, I'm not going to lie, very time consuming, but in the end, it just makes life easier, and I really like to see things organized in one place. So it was also a relaxing process to do. As you can see on this shelf, I am dedicating all of my baked ingredients and some sweet ingredients like my dates on here. So I also have my oats and all that kind of good stuff, all on this shelf. This is not necessary, but I find it extremely helpful around in the kitchen is to restore all your items into glass jar containers. I noticed that by having my food visible to me, it makes me more excited to come up with new recipes and want to cook these items instead of having them hide behind other containers and then me eventually just buying more of the same things. Then it just becomes a continuous habit of overbuying. Number 8, it's time for us to clean out the drawers. This is an area where we tend to collect items that we don't remember about. So just like with the cabinets, you want to empty everything out and then restart again. Here I have some new containers that will help me organize all the utensils that I have, and this just makes life so much easier. By having a new organizer, I can just place things where they belong, and when I need to look for them, they're right there. Just makes life so much easier. So even with the miscellaneous drawer, you want to also organize that instead of just throwing anything in there. Find containers or organizers that you can use to place these items based on their size. This will really help you declutter all the little knickknacks and miscellaneous items that you usually look for all over the place. Now you know that in your miscellaneous drawer, you can easily find them with this nice, organized visual presentation. Number 9, I am trying my very best to reduce as much waste as possible, and in the kitchen we tend to dispose a lot of stuff. So one of the items that I try eliminating and try not to use this year or the last year are paper towels. So here I just have a stash of reusable napkins and towels that I can use for cleaning and also use for just everyday necessity. So I created a basket that looks presentable in my kitchen, easy to get access to and easy to use. After everything is nicely organized, it's now time to do the finishing touch, wipe off all the countertops and covers. Here I am using an eco-friendly spray by Method that is specialized for granite countertops, and sometimes I like to mix my own DIY spray with vinegar and a little baking soda. I use this for the cabinet covers and it just does the work so nicely. Once everything is done and in place, I like to infuse my space with some citrus scent. So usually I would use an orange citrus scent or some lavender into my diffuser. And I would just have it on throughout the day. It just makes my space smells amazing. Organizing and cleaning should be a therapeutic process. It is a great way to invest in your time because you're investing into your well-being. A cluttered space creates a cluttered mind. So allow yourself to feel the joy of clarity and invest that time into organizing. Thank you so much for watching. I love you and I will see you next week. Ciao!